Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. Now, I gave a heads up about this one. This is about Michael Matheson. Things go. I don't know, they go from bad to worse, from worse to catastrophic, and now we're at catastrophic, and it's going to get even worse than that, and I don't know where to go. Armageddon? Is it Armageddon for Matheson? We already know he's a liar, a thief, a fraudster, a man who willingly throws children under the bus to save his own career. He breaks the law over the second property that he rents out by not putting the right advertising through, even though it's SNP policy not to have second homes because the optics are bad as they're trying to punish landlords and all this. So on top of everything, plus, of course, the sheer inability to do his job with thousands upon thousands of people dying on waiting lists while he's not doing his job because he's too busy worrying in case anyone finds out what's actually on his iPad. So on top of all that, it's going to get worse. The opposition have called for his resignation. There's people within his own party have called for his resignation. The press have called for it. Everyone's calling for it. His local council have called for his resignation. And yet he's not gone and Humza won't fire him. But now SNP members in his local region, his own personal, local area membership, are now calling for him to go. But not for any of the things he's already done. This is a whole new can of worms. Let's have a look. So, SNP members in Falkirk call for Matheson to resign from his role in a bullying row. So on top of everything else, it's all coming out now that he's a bully. So Michael Matheson has been urged to resign from his role in a bullying row involving the SNP's general election candidate in Falkirk. The Herald on Sunday understands that the entire Westminster campaign committee for the constituency is on the brink of quitting over the bitter feud involving the beleaguered health secretary. How damaging is this man? He's so toxic that everyone wants to disassociate themselves and walk away. The party is going to lose members. It's going to lose all the expertise these people bring to running campaigns. Everything. Why? Because Humza Yousaf hasn't got the balls to fire Michael Matheson. He's got to go now, surely. How many things has he got to do before he is made to go, either by resignation or just plain outright firing his arse? Tony Giuliano was selected to be the candidate for the seat at the end of October, following a ballot of local members. Mr. Matheson backed one of the rivals. Following Mr. Giuliano's selection, a complaint was made to the SNP HQ about his campaign. He was accused of placing undue pressure on local members to support him, fabricating an endorsement, breaching spending limits in the internal contest, and then lying about it. Mr. Giuliano has rejected all of these allegations. The complaint effectively froze his bid for the Westminster seat, with the candidate and his team unable to act or spend money until Lorna Finn, the SNP's National Secretary, decided what would happen. This sounds like somebody has dobbed him in it, doesn't it? To get their candidate of choice through. This is internecine. This is backstabbing. This is the SNP way. Frustrated members of the WCC say that despite the looming general election, they have heard nothing from the party in the last 6 weeks. They say, "We need the SNP National Secretary to come out with some sort of support for us," one source said. That's been lacking. It's been sadly lacking. We need that to happen soon. Very soon. They continued, "It is imploding. It is on the verge of a mass resignation. And it is because of the way Tony has been treated." He said, "In my view, he's been bullied. I've watched this process since the end of August and he's been bullied and hounded out. I never thought I'd speak out like this against the party, but there is a cabal." We've been saying that for years. There is a cabal, and the people involved in that cabal are Michael Matheson, MSP, and one of the people involved is Michael Matheson, MSP. And that's because he came out and endorsed one candidate the night before the vote. That was wrong. And there's also Cecil Michaeljohn, who's council leader. And he is. And apparently and I only learnt this yesterday, and I will make a point of making it, Cecil Michaeljohn is one of those who is a man who likes to dress as a woman and pretend he's a woman, but we don't need to pretend. He can insist on calling himself what he likes. I will insist on calling him what I like. The cabal are also, in my view, bullying other members of the Western Campaign Committee not to support Tony. Every move he makes, they've tried to block. They presented a motion trying to block him from campaigning, which was defeated. And now they're trying to force him out. This is the SNP way. They don't, for some reason, they don't want Giuliano to go in. They want their candidate to go in because, favouritism. And you've got the sitting MSP sitting MSP trying to be protected because he must have something on Humza Yousaf, you'd imagine. One source said this cabal had dominated Falkirk SNP for some time and struggled to accept that their candidate had lost the ballot. They laid the blame directly at the feet of Mr Matheson. They say, it's my view that Michael Matheson needs to resign. Not because of the iPad issue necessarily, but because he started all this mess in Falkirk. And he's got to go before we can clear it up. And asked if they meant resign as Health Secretary or MSP, they made it clear they just wanted him to quit his role in government. But everyone else wants him to quit his role as an MSP. He said, I don't think he's fit for purpose anymore. However, another senior SNP source in Falkirk said it was ridiculous to suggest Mr Giuliano was being bullied. You know that this other one was obviously a kiss arse and lick spittle of Matheson. They told the Herald on Sunday, I'm aware of a number of significant complaints about Tony, that he overspent his budget, then created a fraudulent return, that he misled someone who gave him an endorsement, and that he tried to persuade others to withdraw in his favour. I think many across Falkirk District are dismayed at his lack of integrity. But they're saying that, but there's no evidence. They can't put, look, here's the proof. It's just accusations, because they don't want him in. It's quite clear. Anyway, the local woes are the latest headache for Mr Matheson, who's currently being investigated by the Scottish Parliament corporate body over his £11,000 data roaming bill and the fraud that he committed by putting the claim in. And whether he pays it back or not is immaterial. He still put the claim in. That is fraud. And then, of course, he lies about it. Then he lies more. Then he lies about his lies. He doesn't know. He keeps having to tell different lies until he hopes one day somebody somewhere will manage to believe one of his lies. But we don't. And here's the thing. Because we now know he's a liar about so much, whenever he stands there and says the truth, we just won't believe him. Because he's a liar. Mr Matheson had originally agreed to pay £3,000 of the bill from his office expenses, not his personal pocket, you understand, with Parliament agreeing to pay the rest. But after learning that his sons were responsible for the bill, sons, he said he'll pay it in full and won't let the iPad be examined because, hey, it's only got football on it, apparently. Matheson's integrity has come into question over the affair. He claimed he only learned about the use of the parliamentary iPad on Thursday, November the 9th, following the days of scrutiny, and then we found out that that was a lie, and then lie, and then lie, and then lie to cover everything up. He's a two-faced, odious liar. And now we know he's a bully. He's got no integrity. He's someone that is incapable of doing the job he's given. And for various reasons, he must go. Humza Yousaf must fire him. He's under so much pressure on so many fronts, it means he is not capable of giving his entire attention to his job as a minister. Regardless of anything else, he's failing in his primary role. He must step down and then go and apologise to the families of the 25,000 people who have died on a waiting list while he was the health secretary. And I am coming up. You have to ask what exactly Michael Matheson has to do before he gets fired. How deep does he have to plumb the depths before even he acknowledges he has to resign? What is going to come out next about this guy? It's an absolute tsunami of shit and filth surrounding him. He's corrupt, he's a liar, he's a thief, he's inept, and he's incapable. And now it seems he's a bully. What on earth is he doing representing the people? Never mind as a minister. He needs to go both as a minister and as an MSP and go quickly and just disappear from public life and go and try and heal the differences he's caused by blaming his sons for his own inadequacies. I'm done. Thank you very much for watching. I do hope you enjoyed this video. Yet again, we're showing how awful these people truly are. And until next time, stay safe, stay well, and hit the subscribe button. Bye.